from Chris Haynes of all people. And
Uh-oh.
this is what the story goes on to say. We know Chris Haynes is a reliable source. Sources: LeBron James, Russell Westbrook, and Anthony Davis commit to making the Lakers' big three work. Here's what the
Ooh.
article goes on to say. The Los Angeles Lakers' big three of LeBron, Davis, Westbrook huddled up on a phone conversation the first weekend of NBA Summer League in Las Vegas, with expressing each other their commitment to one another and vowing to make it work. Seems like a telenovela already. League sources tell Yahoo News. While the uncertainty of Westbrook's future with the Lakers remains, the conversation was well organized to make sure that all three were on the same page as long as they're joined together in the pursuit of a championship, sources say. Westbrook has never requested trade from the Lakers. That was a story that we reported later. The former MVP will earn 47. We already know that. We know that Westbrook's name is in a lot of chatter after during a disappointing 21-22 season. I saw that, CA. Let's see here. At this point, the Lakers saw missing playoffs altogether. The reason they believed the trio would be a one-year experience. In his first season, Lakers, Westbrook struggled to find consistency, and we continue this whole scenario. We continue everything. All right, Tyrese, I presented you breaking news by Chris Haynes of Yahoo News, talking about the big three. They're connected. They're talking to each other. There's a huge conversation going on the phone. Somehow, Chris Haynes has a plug that
He got the plug.
that allows him to get into the conversations. He's in there listening. You know, this isn't like the 90s, man, where you could pick up a phone and be in the conversation. But nevertheless, I'm done talking. Tyrese, go for it.
Oh,
What do you make
man.
of this story?
Ah, man, I don't know what to make of it. This thing isn't going to work. I said this last year before the season started, man. You know, this three guys with high egos, it's not going to work. I don't know who's speaking for them. I don't know if it was some representatives or, you know, some guys in their camp, but it's clearly not going to work. Um, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on, but that's cap. Uh, I don't think so. Um, I can't believe that though. Like huddled up. Like what? Why are you doing this now? Right? Like doing this now after he dumped his agent. It doesn't make any sense. It's almost like someone's begging him to stay there. I don't know, bro. Like I don't think that came from both of their mouths. I think that came from some people in his camp who handle all that stuff. Who are just saying like, hey, you know, yeah, we want to play together, like we want to make it work, but I don't think if LeBron can have Kyrie instead of Westbrook, he'll take him. I don't think he doesn't want Westbrook there, but if he can get better, he'll get better, right? He's not like, oh, like, you know, it's Westbrook or I want to keep Westbrook here. Like, I don't want anyone else, you know?
Yeah.
So, um, yeah, they got to get rid of him, man. Like, I understand, like, they're friends off the court, but not everything can work on the court, even if you're friends, you know? Um, they got to get rid of him fast because next thing you know, you don't want him getting injuries and they can't move him. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to hear your thoughts.
This is a very interesting wording from Chris Haynes. You know, Lakers' big three, you know, of the three players huddled for a phone conversation. Like that to me, like I don't know what he's trying to say with huddle. Like, are they huddled together in one phone talking to somebody? Are they talking to each other, you know, close to each other, like FaceTime? Like, again, I think it's interesting
Yeah.
wording coming from this whole situation. And again, you know, I don't think that this is like the biggest breaking news that's going on. Again, I say it satirically when I talk about breaking news, right? Because, like I said, right now we're at a lull. Like there has been no
Uh-huh.
real big moves happening right now. The Gobert trade again probably killed the market, in my opinion. I think it more so in the fact
You
that
think it killed it?
I don't think it killed it, more so that it halted it, and I think it's gonna be a while before they get back to doing that stuff. Like before they get back to, you know, having conversations of, you know, with teams and like seeing if the market
Uh-huh.
will like lighten up a little bit, right? Because not a lot of teams want to pay that much to get players, and so
Yeah, that's true.
so I think that's why right now, whether it's Chris Haynes, whether it's Wojnarowski, whether it's Shams, whether it's Scoop. I'm not a real big fan of Scoop, but you know, but again, like you have these people just trying to create stories because obviously this is how they get paid. I'm not gonna hate on the game,
Yeah.
but
Yahoo's paying this guy for crying out loud.
but I think that this is a non-story, and the reason why I'm calling it out, or the reason why I'm talking about it, is because I think at the end of the day, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Russell Westbrook are going to make the best moves for themselves. And I think, LeBron James being kind of the higher ups, in my opinion, he's going to want to move Russell Westbrook. I think, in my personal opinion, again, this is my opinion when I say that. I think a lot of people probably hold the same opinion I do. I think LeBron James doesn't want Russell Westbrook on the team. Like again, we saw last year how Russell Westbrook was, and it seemed like he didn't really want to change. Again, we saw all the photos last summer of Russell Westbrook and LeBron James working out together. And again, that's a good kumbaya story. But at the end of the day, after the season happened, it's clear to see that those two guys just didn't have any chemistry to work together. It seemed like, the Lakers were winning in spite of what Russell Westbrook was doing. And sometimes that's hard. Again, not all the Lakers were playing defense. A lot of them were just a little old and really couldn't move. And that's the reason why I think they got cooked on defense. But
go
ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, they had a lot of guys on there who were just trying to jump on the train, but like, let's be real. They thought there was gonna be a cakewalk to the finals, and they, you know what I'm saying, they can go all out. But they didn't imagine it being a struggle and a rock climb like this.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. Like, I think he wants him off the team, but he's clearly not gonna say that because they have a relationship outside of basketball.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna say like, no, I want him off the team, because then that's just not gonna look good, right?
Exactly.
Like, that can cause beef for years. So, as we clearly seen with other players, so I think he wants him off the team, but he can't really say that. So he's just gonna say, I want to play with him. Let's make it work. But at the end of the day, he knows it's not, because it would have worked. They could have been able to turn a switch in the second half of the season, and they weren't able to. So, I think he wants him off too. I agree.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, again, I think when it comes down to it, even Anthony Davis, I don't think his job is necessarily safe either. Like, maybe that's wrong.
They're not GMs, they're not in the execs, bro. Like, that's not their job. Like, that's the front office's job to take care of that. They're just there to play their game and get paid. Like, they're not there to make sure moves work. Like, they can give their opinion, but they're not going to say, oh, we want him off the team, because that looks like we're ganging up on him, right? And he's not like no scrub. He can play. He's a Hall of Famer. He's a future Hall of Famer. So,
exactly.
And they're cool. So, but they don't want to. I don't think they want to play with him, bro.
Yeah, I think so too. And that's the hard part about, and again, the two stories that we connected from these two, of course, were, the Lakers reportedly interested in Randall. Again, that's just rumors, not necessarily true. Like I said, it's a slow news day probably. And then this story obviously just came out from Chris Haynes just a couple minutes ago, or maybe half an hour ago. And so I think at the end of the day, I think it's just like the Lakers, putting stuff out there for people. And again, the thing that you don't want to have happen to players is desperate. You don't want to seem desperate to get rid of somebody. The Lakers, the Lakers so far have seemed desperate to get rid of him, and they're probably trying to change the narrative so they can get a little bit more in return for Westbrook.
Him. Exactly.
And so, who would want to pay for Westbrook? Again, there's probably a lot of teams that are looking to, just take him for 1 year, get a nice salary dump, and then move on. I think for me, Westbrook, if he starts on that roster next year with Anthony Davis and LeBron James, I still think it's a playoff team. The biggest thing for me is, are they winning the championship? And I just think, personally, I don't think so. And the reason why I don't is because I think when the times and the moment shines bright, Russell Westbrook is going to take the shine away from both Anthony Davis and LeBron James. No matter how much of a number one that LeBron James is, I just don't see Russell Westbrook backing down from him. And that to me is what's going to be the situation for the Lakers is how do we continue to, get our guys better? And like, how do we move as an organization if we can't get rid of Russell Westbrook?
Yeah, I agree. They don't want to hurt his value. I mean, his value, excuse me, it's not as high as it once was, right? Like they have to try to play reverse psychology on these execs and people in the front office to try to, give up the farm for him. But yeah, I don't think they're going to win the chance or at least go. They probably might not even make the playing game, bro, because it's just not going to work. Like they need a wing type player. Like they should have went after Paul George or someone when they had the chance to. It's not going to work. He's too ball dominant, and those two other guys like LeBron, they need the ball, and then the other guys got to try to get theirs. So he just doesn't fit. He just doesn't fit. Honestly, he doesn't fit with a lot of contending teams because he's too demanding.
Yeah. So let's see here. Actually, LeBron wants to move Westbrook, but he can't force the trade of draft picks. Clippers versus 76ers in finals 2023.
Yeah, he can't really do much, bro, because it's not his job. Like at the end of the day, these execs and GMs, they're the one who's putting together these packages. So at the end of the day, it's like, are they going to try to give us fair value, or are they going to try to give us a bag of chips and a couple drinks, right? Like, So he has name recognition. That's one thing he does have is name recognition. He will bring tickets to your arena. He will sell merch for you. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you're not going to be competing. So that's the only thing you're going to be getting him for.
Yeah.
So
and I think the Lakers just have to think about it a little bit longer about, what is the best move. And I think this comes back to that conversation we had when was it, last week? About Jeannie Buss.
I think it was a week or two ago. Yeah.
And really think about when it comes to her is she needs to start being the owner of the damn Los Angeles Lakers. Again, her father was that guy. Like he was able to make the trades. He was able to get what he wanted. And I just feel like Jeannie Buss, I know she did that her first year, or I guess the year, when they got LeBron James and Anthony Davis together in that first year. Again, I think the bubble ring counts. I know a lot of people are kind of like, oh, the bubble ring, it's a bubble ring, blah, 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 Mickey Mouse, whatever excuse they want to use for that. But after that, the roster has never been the same since that roster. And again, it could be contributed to a lot of different things. You can contribute it to taking 2 months off and then going right back into it. But at the end of the day, Jeannie Buss needs to do a better job of managing that team and getting that team over the hump and getting that team some damn players. Because it's frustrating as someone who loves the game of basketball, someone who appreciates the sport, seeing time in and time out, Jeannie Buss continuing to delegate her powers and responsibilities to other people that clearly don't know what they're doing. And, that has been the way it's been since Jeannie Buss has taken over the team. Before they got LeBron James, they went the youth project route, right? They tried to rebuild. They had that, an interesting looking team with Ingram, with Randall. What's on that team? I think Clarkson was on that team.
Clarkson, yeah.
Like all those guys.
And they had a lot, yeah.
And, and Lonzo too, because Lonzo was drafted by them. But she needs to start really taking control of the organization again in terms of not delegating her powers to everybody and start really being the owner. And I think CA, you're right, man. She should be a silent owner. Like she continues to subtweet, and she's in her Drake feelings right now. Like it just seems like she's not. She needs to act like an NBA owner, and I know she has that in her because when you're related to Mr. Buss or Dr. Buss, you damn well better have that in you. And I don't think that the son definitely didn't have that. I think Jeannie Buss has that in her. I think she's just afraid to do it for whatever reason.
I don't know, man. I disagree, bro. I just think she's not a boss. You know what I'm saying? Like
You think she's
she's
a
a
follower?
business. I wouldn't say she's a follower, but she's just not a boss, bro. Like, I don't think she knows how to straight up just break up with a player if she has some type of relationship with them. We clearly seen that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it took LeBron to get there to be able to put his damn foot down and say, I want these guys gone. I want
Yeah.
AD. This is what I want. Like,
Mm-hmm.
she's the type to where she's afraid to trade players who she has relationships with. She just needs to step back, you know what I'm saying? Hold down the real estate that her
Mm-hmm.
father left her or whatever. But as far as making executive moves or you know what I'm saying, she just
Yeah.
needs to stay away from that, bro, because she's not doing nothing. So it's like, you know, she needs to step down and, like he said, be silent owner, bro. Like, just step down. She just doesn't have the balls to really be bold, bro. We've seen this for
Mm-hmm.
years.
And it's
If it wasn't for the Lakers being so trash, bro, like, you know, if
mm-hmm.
LeBron never went there, bro, they would have still been a lottery team. Let's be real.
Yeah, I think they would have. It would have definitely taken a little bit longer time. And again, Laker fans are a different breed. I'll tell you that much. Like when they want something, they will be very vocal about it. They are one of the most. They're similar to me, like as Cowboy fans in the NFL. Like
But
they will be
but
loud, and they will let the owners know, yo, I need something right now. Like, they were not willing to wait for the youth project. They were willing to
no,
say, get rid of those guys, get LeBron James in, let's win our championships, however many that they can win. And again, continuously, in my opinion, try to not think about the long term progress, but just short term. And that's just the way that Laker fans are, in my opinion.
yeah, no, I agree. Like they're not like us, but you know when they want something, you know they shake the fence. But to
Yeah.
go back to the original, like you know, I agree. Like you know, she wants to be, you know, she's attractive and all that, but for her age. But at the end of the day, that's not the role for this, bro. Like
Mm-hmm.
you know, you got to start
Yeah.
putting stuff together. Until then, it's not gonna go any further. So.
Exactly. And again, let us know in the comment section down below. What do you guys think of this story? Again, it goes back to the story of Chris Haynes. Again, breaking news. Not really breaking news. Satirically, of course, satirically breaking news that the big three of the Lakers, LeBron, Davis, and Westbrook huddled up for a phone conversation to confirm their commitment to each other. And again, if you guys want to check it out, I read the whole article earlier. So again, let us know in the comment section down below. And if when this video goes out to a different, it goes out as a separate video, leave your comment down below and think about and really let us know, what do you guys think about the story? Are you guys buying it? Are you not buying it? Because at the end of the day, we all know that this story is just is not it, right? We all know
Yeah.
that it's a slow news week, not a lot of stuff coming up, and yeah, we'll see what happens. But again, let us know in the comment section down below. Just remember to hit that like, share, and subscribe button if you're new to the channel, so we can get the algorithms up, get the algorithms going, and again, continue to work hard and build this channel to be something special. Like I said, let me know in the comment section down below.